Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, we're very fortunate and privileged to have with us the man at the helm of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or what we call TESDA, Secretary Isidro Samson Da Peñas. Sir, magandang gabi. Welcome to Dumaguete City, and thank you for being here as a visitor of our City Mayor Felipe Antonio Remulla, sir.
Magandang gabi sa iyo, Doc Dino, at saka sa lahat ng mga nanonood, nakikinig sa iyong programa. At ako'y nagagalak, masaya, masaya na andirito ngayon sa Dumaguete. At meron tayong magandang activity kanina, is designing of the use of rock para sa property na magagamit na tatayuan natin ng Provincial Training Center. Maraming salamat, Dino.
Sir, can you discuss further yung nangyari kanina na MOA signing with the city and then with you sa TESDA? Ano ba to? What is this all about so that yung viewers natin malaman kung ano yung significant na event na to?
Well, it starts with our mandate. Ang mandate ng TESDA is to provide relevant, accessible, high-quality and efficient technical education and skills development. At yan po yung binibigay natin na training ay oportunidad para sa mga kababayan natin na nasa lower strata of society para magkaroon sila ng hanap buhay o kaya employment. At ang TESDA po, kagaya ko nung 2019, nung bumisita ko rito, ay nalaman ko na walang Provincial Training Center ang Negros Oriental. Okay. So sinabihan ko yung Provincial Director na paghanap ng lupa, makipag-negotiate sa mga local government unit. At maganda naman ang nangyari. Kaya nung kinausap si Mayor Remulla at intindihan niya yung pangailangan ng TESDA at dahil sa kanyang gustong makatulong din sa mga constituents niya dito sa Dumaguete, ay nagbigay siya ng isang property o yung by the way of deed of use of rock. Yeah. At ito po ay tatayo natin ng training center. At dito natin ipapatupad o i-implement mga iba-ibang klaseng programa, training na papakinabangan ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Dumaguete at saka sa mga neighboring towns dito sa probinsya po ng Negros Oriental.
That's good to hear, sir. Magandang balita yan for Negros Oriental. Sir, yung nalaman mo na in-appoint ka ni President Rodrigo Duterte as the 12th Director General of TESDA on October 2018, ano yung, unang-una, paano mo nalaman na ikaw yung na-appoint na TESDA Director General? Ano yung first reaction mo niyan? At saka, what made you decide to accept the position?
Well, that was during the time ng yung Coast Guard anniversary. So I was there also watching, and then the President announced that he is promoting me to become the Director General of the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. Yeah. So I was surprised na he announced yung aking promotion to that position. Yeah. Ang position po ng TESDA is a cabinet secretary.
That's right.
And seldom yung mga chosen na makapagselbi sa position na ganyan. So nung in-announce ng ating presidente, yung mga media nandoon, tumingin na sa akin at in-interview na ako. Ako naman, talaga nagulat. So, ang aking nung in-interview ako, I just stated yung talagang na pakiramdam ko. Yeah. At sabi ko na I'm surprised with the pronouncement of the President, but I am honored and I would like to thank the President for the trust and confidence that he gave me by appointing me as the Director General of TESDA. And I feel that I am appointed there because there's a reason why he wants me to be there. Ganun na yung aking sinabi sa media that time. And true enough, nung before my assumption, pinag-aralan ko yung mandato ng TESDA. Yes. And it says that yung mandato is to provide relevant, accessible, high quality, and efficient technical education and skills development. to the Filipino people. At ang kadugto niyan is para magkaroon ng employment at saka or livelihood after. At this addresses yung poverty problem ng bansa. Ang dalawa yung dalawa yung main thrust ng TESDA in accordance with law. One is global competitiveness. Ang ibig sabihin niyan is we should be at par with other countries when it comes to technical skills, technical know-how, yung mga modern na mga technology na nangyayari na sa ibang bansa. So that's one of the mandate of the trust. The other one is social equity and poverty reduction. Ito naman yung mag-address ng problema ng gobyerno natin sa mga yung kahirapan ng mga kababayan natin. And to me, that is equally or not or even more important because it's about people na naghihirap dito sa ating bansa, mga kababayan natin, mga Pilipino for in the lower strata of society. Lalong-lalo na yung mga andoron sa kabukiran, yung mga tinatawag na GIDA, yung geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, mga katutubo natin.
Yeah.
Kaya ito, ilang military, dati police, kasi dyan ako galing. I think the President in his wisdom, nakita niya yon na ako, alam ko yung problema ng communist insurgency at ako makakatulong na ma-address yung isa sa mga root causes ng communist insurgency, which is poverty. Yan naman yung kadugtong yan. Wala naman successful na military action lang dahil sa pag-address ng communist insurgency. Kailangan ma-address mo yung mga dahilan ng communist insurgency, and that is one o yung poverty ang isang reason dyan. And na-connect ko yun. So yung aking ginawa pinaintig ko yung ating mga training sa mga may deliver, may bigay sa mga kababayan natin na nasa mga lower strata of society, mga naghihirap, and give them opportunity to improve their life. Kung maririnig niyo yung presidente, palagi niya sinasabi, gusto niya makita ang mga bawat Pilipino na magkaroon ng komportableng buhay. At paano natin magagawa yan? O siyempre, para magkaroon ng komportableng buhay, kailangan meron silang trabaho o kaya hanap buhay. Pero paano sila magkaroon ng trabaho, hanap buhay? Kailangan munang alam nila yung trabaho o hanap buhay. So yun ang task, the noble task of TESDA, turuan sila para matuto kung paano yung kanilang trabaho sa employment o kung paano maghanap buhay. Yun yung noble task yung ng TESDA, Doc Dino. At ako'y natutuwa sa aking bagong position at hindi naman ako sa academe, pero nai-relate ko yung bakit ako andiyan sa TESDA na it is a training or a teaching profession. And so napakaganda yung pakiramdam ko diyan kasi everything that I do, it results to something positive.
Correct.
Yung magkaroon ng hanap buhay o kaya trabaho yung isang kababayan nating Pilipino at maiangat mo siya sa kahirapan. Napakagandang feeling yan, Doc Dino.
Now, sir, gusto lang malaman ng mga tao, no? How did you come to know President Duterte? Paano kayo nagkakilala?
Well, it's about our work. When I was younger, I served as a commanding officer of the Philippine Constabulary Company in Davao City. He was then the city prosecutor pa siya noon. So siyempre kami, kung may nahuhuli kami, dadali namin doon sa fiscal. Imbestigahan, i-file namin sa fiscal.
Yeah.
So doon nag-umpisa yung pagkakilala namin. And then dahil siya yung fiscal, so there is a off and on na meeting, ganon, we see sa other. And then later when I grew up or I went up the ladder of responsibility at I was ready to become the city director of Davao. He chose me to be the city director of Davao City or the chief of police of Davao City.
Wow.
Then later on, nawala uli ako, serving in different capacities. But I came back when he chose me to become the regional director of Region 11. So ganun ang samahan namin. I spent most of my professional life or my career in Davao City. At kung paanoon magkasama kami ni Mayor Duterte.
Okay.
At that
No
time.
wonder, sir.
Now the President.
Anyway, sir, you made mention 30 years, over 30 years ka sa Philippine Military Academy plus as police official. That's a span of 30 years. Now, paano mo ma-relate yung bago mong trabaho ngayon as Secretary of TESDA to your military background, sir? How do you relate that to?
Well, when I was in the service, I served as the director for operations ng Philippine National Police. So while doing that, I handle lahat ng klaseng operations ng police. Kasama na diyan yung communist insurgency. At that time, medyo matindi ang problema natin sa communist insurgency. So pinag-aralan ko yan, kung paano ma-address yan. And I even enrolled for my Doctor of Philosophy in Criminology, pero ang aking subject is communist insurgency. At lumabas doon sa aking pag-aaral yung aking dissertation na ang solution diyan ay hindi lang military action, kundi kailangan ma-address yung poverty ng mga Pilipino, lalo na doon sa mga mabababang strata ng society natin.
Correct.
At ang isang paraan diyan para ma-address diyan yung poverty na yan is to kailangan magkaroon ng trabaho. Tulungan natin magkaroon ng trabaho o mga hanap buhay yung ating mga kababayan. So nakita ko kung ano yung aking magagawa bilang Director General ng TESDA. At ngayon, kada kilos namin sa TESDA ay nagbibigay ng opportunity sa mga kababayan natin para magkaroon ng trabaho o pagkakakitaan. Dahil dapat bago mangyari yon, kailangan turuan mo sila training. And that is the mandate of TESDA. Parang yung sinasabi na yung if you give man a fish, he lives by the day.
Yeah.
But if you teach him how to fish, he lives for a lifetime. Yan. Ngayon, pag sinabing teach, training yan. Kailangan turuan. At pag sabing training, that is the mandate of TESDA. TESDA yan.
Well said, sir. Now, you've been with TESDA for more than 2 years na, sir, no? What objectives did you set out certain objectives. What objectives have already been achieved? And what are the other goals you are working on right now with TESDA, sir?
Well, first is I studied ang TESDA as an agency. At nakita ko kung ano yung mga pwede pang mga ma-improve sa TESDA. At sa kaiikot ko para sa buong TESDA, para malaman kung ano talaga ang mga sitwasyon nila, ano pa ba yung mga pwedeng i-improve, ano pa ba yung mga dapat na maisuporta sa kanila, ay nakita ko na kailangan magtayo ng mga training centers at least in each province of the country. At kaya nga ako nandito ngayon sa Dumaguete dahil nung pupunta nga ako rito noong 2019, that was July 4. Nalaman ko na walang provincial training center ang Negros Oriental. Lalo na dito sa Dumaguete.
Yes.
At alam ko rin na maraming mga nangangailangan ng training para magkaroon ng trabaho. Yeah. So ito yung istorya kung bakit ako andito. Direct sa nung pinag-aralan ko ang TESDA, nakita ko na marami ring walang mga training centers. That's why yun ang aking parang gigawang priority para magkaroon lahat ng mga probinsya ng training centers. At ngayon ay nangyari na yon. At nag-establish na ako, nag-organize ng mga provincial training centers sa lahat ng mga probinsya natin sa Pilipinas. In fact, ang nadatnan ko, nakita ko, 59 lahat ng mga probinsya walang provincial training centers. Yeah. And I have created that already. I brought that up to the cabinet and to the president kung ano yung mga kailangan ng TESDA. At when I brought that up, so hindi lang tao ang kakulangan, kundi pati na rin yung mga equipment that should go with the TESDA para ma-deliver yung ating mandato, yung ma-accomplish namin yung mission. And the cabinet and the president approved it. At kaya nga meron na tayong mga tao, 996 na plantilla position ang ibigay sa TESDA. At that will create the different provincial training centers in all the provinces in the country. At the same time, the equipment that are needed were also approved. At ito yung mga magagamit natin sa pagpunta sa yung mga tinatawag na priority barangays, yung mga ina-address ng National Task Force to End the Local Communist Armed Conflict. At lahat we are ready. At in fact, ang TESDA ay ang lead agency, ginawang lead agency ang TESDA doon sa tinatawag na poverty reduction, livelihood and employment cluster. Kasi yung mga i-deliver na mga services, mga tulong doon sa ating mga isolated areas, yung tinatawag na CHIDA, yung geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, ay dapat andiyan yung training. Kasi marami tayong mga kababayan, mga katutubo, na malalaki lupa nila, ancestral domain. Pero kailangan nilang maturuan kung paano gawing productive yung lupain nila. Kasi kung magawa natin na maging productive yun, hindi na sila basta-basta ma-exploit ng mga NPA para sumama sa kanila. Kasi nakita naman nila na ang tulong ng gobyerno andiyan at may maganda na yung buhay nila. So yun ang ginagawa ng TESDA, kaya kailangan na may tao, may equipment para makarating doon sa mga malalayong lugar. Kasi ang TESDA ngayon ay hindi na lang yung mga training center dito sa Kabayanan, kundi we have to reach out doon sa mga malalayong lugar. That's why doon sa mandato nakalagay doon accessible, relevant, accessible, high quality and efficient technical education and skills development. Ang ibig sabihin nun pag accessible, na talagang abot lahat ng mga kababayan natin. So yun yung ating ginagawa, Doc Tony, Doc Dino. At ako, masaya ako sa trabahong ito. If you will see, yung aking pinagdaanan na career ko from the military, naging police, naging Director General ko ng PIDEA, sa drug enforcement pa rin yun, o sa Commissioner ng Bureau of Customs. Nakita ko na sa lahat ng mga trabahong ito, while I cherish lahat ng mga naging trabaho ko na dinaanan, yung career ko, I'm proud of it. But ang very rewarding sa lahat ng mga dinaanan kong trabaho ay ang TESDA. Kasi pag may yung gagawin mo yung trabaho mo, it will result to a job or a livelihood ng isang tao. At yung mga istorya ng mga tao na nakapag-train sa TESDA, pag makita kanila dyan sa mga kalye, lalapit yan sila. At pagsabi, lalo na kung makilala ng taga-TESDA ka, lalapit yan, sasabihin, maraming salamat po sa inyo at ako ay may trabaho na. Ganon sila. So hindi ko naman kilala, hindi rin ako kilala, pero kung makita ka na may suot kang TESDA, lalapit yan sila. At we have trained millions already ng mga kababayan natin. And we continue on training. At yun yung ating ginagawa, Doc Dino.
Sir, Sir Secretary, during the MOA signing, yung sa use of RAC agreement with the city government, napansin naman ninyo na Mayor Remulla invited the 30 barangay captains from the 30 barangays all over Dumaguete. Now, I'm sure they would like to know, ano ba yung mga priority mo sa barangay development projects nimo sa TESDA in the province itself?
Well, I'm happy that Mayor Remulla invited yung mga barangay captains natin because sila yung nakakalam kung ano yung mga yung mga tao na nangangailangan ng trabaho at kung ano yung gusto nilang trabaho sa kanilang barangay.
Yeah.
Now, sa amin, ang aming priority sa TESDA is always agriculture because it's about food sufficiency. Kailan may turo sa mga kababayan natin ang agrikultura para kahit na anong mangyari, kung meron kang tanim, ay may anihin ka, may pagkain ka. So kung may sobra yung iyong mga harvest, yung mga produkto, ito ay maibibenta mo para may income ka. So that is what we call yung agrikultura as the backbone ng ating ekonomiya. Sa lahat ng countries, ganyan yan, Doc Dino.
Yeah.
In fact, others priority talaga yan. So I made it a priority also. And that is also true to sa mga barangays natin. That's why we have been propagating yung pagturo ng organic farming, organic agriculture, and crop production sa mga kababayan natin para we will be self-sufficient in food. And then ang pangalawa dyan is itong construction-related na mga courses. Kasi aside from kung natuto ka niyan, pwede mong gamitin yan sa sariling bahay mo. May mangyari na mga halimbawa, kalamidad at nasira yung bahay mo, pwede mong itayo kung marunong ka ng construction-related. But at the same time, we have a very big job opportunity sa construction because of the Build program ng gobyerno is happening all throughout the country. Eh makikita mo sa buong sa lahat ng mga region, may ongoing na construction. May Widening of road, sa Metro Manila naman ay yung mga skyways, mga skyscrapers, andyan sila lahat. Puro talagang nagbuhos ng mga projects ang ating ang Duterte administration ngayon. Kasi yan ang paraan para magkaroon ng mga hanap buhay mga Pilipino. At the same time, it helps sa progress ng ating bansa economically.
Well said, sir. Now, yung MOA signing natin, sir, no, under that use-of-frac agreement with the city government, ano ba yung gagawin ng TESDA insofar as building on the lot and its purpose, no? And kailan ito magsisimula at ano yung estimated cost of the project, sir?
Well, yung designing of the use-of-frac, we can start constructing yung putting up the building. But of course, ang sa gobyerno, to put up a building, you should make a budget proposal para maisama sa budget, the next budget deliberation ng Congress. Okay. Para pag na-approve yun, then you can construct the building. But that is a process. Pero ang gagawin natin dito, Doc Dino, with the lot that is already made available for our use by virtue of that deed of use-of-frac, we will put up yung 4-bay na structure that will have a workshop area, magkakaroon ng classroom for instruction, at saka another bay for the office and at tirahan ng mga trainers. Of course, with the accompanying toilet and bath yan. Okay. At that will be the start. Okay. And with that, we can do a lot of things. And then kanina, pag-inspect ko nung site, nakita ko yung MRF building. Sabi ko nga kay Mayor, sabi ko, Mayor, may nakita ko rin na parang bakante. Sabi niya, yes, sa kanya, yung MRF, sabi niya. At sabi ko, baka pwedeng magamit yan, Mayor, habang bakante yan, igamitin namin for training. Oo na daw, si Mayor, ay salamat, sabi ko. So we can go full blast para sa ating mga training dito sa Dumaguete at Negros Oriental.
Sir Secretary, initially, ano yung mga training programs na gagawin ng TESDA na i-offer not only to Dumaguete City residents at saka sa mga non-residents natin, sir, doon sa pinaplano building, sir?
Well, ang aming i-offer dito, as I've said earlier about agriculture, and then of course yung mga carpentry, yung construction-related courses, mga 4-8 na kagad yun eh. But in addition to that, isasama namin yan ng driving. Okay. Driving course or NC2. Meron din yung tinatawag na small engine repair para sa mga, kung marami tayong tricycle dyan eh. So kayang-kayang i-repair yan kung makapag-aral ng konting itong maliliit na mga makina. We call it small engine repair yan, Dr. Dino eh.
Yes.
And of course we also do yung contact tracing. Meron din kaming kurso niyan, contact tracing. At saka yung barangay health work na pwedeng gamitin sa mga barangays natin. So yan yung mga initial natin. But what we aim to do as we go along, pag magkaroon na tayo ng yung better facilities, is we will go to the more modern technology and to prepare yung mga kababayan natin dito sa Dumaguete at saka Negros Oriental on the on the 21st century technology environment. Yung tipong mga mechatronic, robotics, mga ganyan. At kasi yan na tayo pupunta eh. So ito yung ICT modernization. And at the same time, tinatawag natin na 4.0 ready or the yung industrial revolution 4.0 because that's where we are going na. Because as I mentioned, yan yung tinatawag na mandato yung sinasabi kong mandato ng TESDA on the global competitiveness. We have to be at par with other countries. But at the same time, we have to take care of our own. Ito yung ating mga problema, mga kababayan na nasa lower strata of society. At kailangan may government intervention dyan para matulungan sila na umangat sa buhay. Dahil yan ang gusto natin. Of course, yan ang gusto ng ating gobyerno, ng ating presidente. Pero hindi magagawa ng ating presidente yan. Hindi natin pagtulong-tulungan yan. Yes. At nagkataon na yung aking departamento, yung aking agency is yan yung mandato eh. But more than us, more than those in the people in government are the people themselves. Kailangan makipag-cooperate, tulungan nila yung sarili nila. Dapat ma-realize nila na yung kanilang ikaangat sa buhay ay sila rin mismo. Ang gobyerno ay tulong lang yan sa kanila.
Yeah. Sir Secretary, can you briefly tell us about yung TESDA Women's Center? No? How does it really empower our women, especially in the industries?
Well, yung ating TESDA Women's Center was established sometime, I don't have yung record. Pero, alam mo ba, I have with me si Deputy Director Lina Sarmiento and he can talk about that more. Alam mo, sila yan eh. Sila yung sila nga nag-aasikaso yan kasi itong TESDA Women's Center ay dyan naka-assign kay Deputy Director Lina Sarmiento. So pwede bang siya na lang magsalita niyan na
no problem, Sir Secretary.
Okay.
Sige po. Okay, in answering one of our questions raised with Secretary La Peña, we're very fortunate to be joined tonight by the Deputy Director General, Ma'am Lina Sarmiento of TESDA. Ma'am, I was asking Secretary La Peña a while ago about the Women's Center, the TESDA's Women's Center. How does it empower our women, especially in the industries?
The TESDA Women's Center was specifically created or established to address issues, among others, yung lack of access of women in technical and vocational training. Because, technical and vocational training used to be dominated by men, di ba? Mga hard skills, welding. So that's the reason why the TESDA Women's Center was created. It was established in 1998 through a grant from JICA. $28.82 million yung grant na binigay sa atin just to build the TESDA Women's Center. And until now, the TESDA Women's Center delivers training, of course, especially to women, but it also accepts men.
Wow.
Pwede yung 10% of the classes or the courses attended by women, binibigay yung slot sa men. So hindi naman siya puro talaga sa babae. And it offers 20 courses right now.
Yeah.
Kasama na dito yung automotive servicing, di ba? Automotive servicing, mga mekaniko, usually mga lalaki.
Correct.
But yung TESDA Women's Center, it offers automotive servicing, it offers welding, welding also for women, plumbing, electrical installation and maintenance. But of course, there are also courses which used to be which is really para bang traditionally dominated by women, like dressmaking, baking and pastry, no? But meron din silang bartending, barista. So a total of 20 courses, and this year there will be an additional 4 courses that will be offered by the TESDA Women's Center.
Ma'am, I'm just wondering, no, despite the COVID-19 pandemic, no, how is TESDA able to make the programs and services that you offer visible to nationwide, and specifically, let's talk about Negros Oriental?
Yeah, thank you very much for asking that. You know, we have a TESDA online program. It's an online course where our kababayans can access. They just have to access the TESDA online program. And then they can choose from 72 courses being offered. You know, yung aming TESDA online program was established in 2012. But nung nag-lockdown in March, ang enrollment ng TESDA online program ay hindi lang nag-double. I think it quadrupled. And from March up to the end of December, ang naging enrollment niya ay around 1 million enrollees. And you know, itong TESDA online program namin, you can choose from the 72 courses, and then you can start whenever you are comfortable or available. Kunwari, ikaw ay isang may bahay, and then pagkatapos mong magluto ng almusal at maglinis ng bahay, you can go to the website of the TESDA online program and choose a course. Kunwari, ang gusto mong course doon ay tungkol sa food processing. So you can choose, and then you can start, and then you can stop, and then continue later when you have the time. So it's very flexible. And at the end of the course, there is a test, there's an exam that you need to pass. And if you cannot pass it, you will not be able to get a certificate. But if you pass the test, you will be able to get a certificate at the end, which you can print or you can save for printing later, and it can be used for credits in TESDA's regular programs later. So yun yung isa. At nakita namin meron pa nga mga artista na nag-enroll sa aming TESDA online program, merong mga beauty queen, no? And even our kababayans abroad, they enrolled in the TESDA online program. And then, aside from that, nung nagkaroon ng COVID, nagkaroon ng pandemic, of course, we have to make adjustments. So, we made adjustment in the delivery of our training programs. So, nagkaroon kami flexible delivery ng aming training program. Inuna namin yung mga online portion. So napilitan kaming mag-adjust ng aming mga curriculum at ng aming materials, learning materials. So online muna, so puro online. And then pag pwede na, saka na yung face-to-face. And aside from that, we requested IATF to allow agri-fishery programs because it is very important in food security and food sufficiency. Alam mo naman nung nagkaroon ng pandemic, di ba? Medyo yung access natin to food, medyo nahirapan tayo kasi hindi naman natin alam na mahirap pumunta sa grocery, mahirap lumabas. So, we requested IATF and we were allowed that even if classes were suspended, we were allowed to continue with agri-fishery courses because it supports our food security program. And then, little by little, nagkaroon ng adjustment. Pinayagan kami because of the need for our workers. We have 5 qualifications na inalaw tayo ng training and assessment. And these are caregiving, housekeeping, domestic work, at yung ship's catering NC1 and ship's catering NC3. Kasi nag-open na yung ibang bansa. Our workers already have contracts, pero hindi pa sila maka-unless unless they have the TESDA National Certificate. So nakiusap tayo sa IETF, pinayagan naman tayo. So nagkaroon ng allowed yung training and assessment for those qualifications. And then noong October, nag-request ulit kami ng dagdag, baka pwedeng payagan yung mga ibang courses, and then pinayagan na yung ibang courses na importante, basta kailangan. And then last December, nagkaroon ng joint memorandum circular ang TESDA at saka ang DTI, allowing face-to-face training in 5 qualifications. Ang una na nga, kasi this is aside from yung nauna na agri-fishery at saka yung sinabi kong 5 qualifications na kailangan ng ating domestic workers. And then, merong additional 5 kasi ito importante din sa ating pagbangon ng ekonomiya natin. And these are construction. Number 1, yung construction. So lahat ng construction-related training, electrical, yung dressmaking, pinayagan because it's related to the sewing of the face mask, yung washable face mask, and then pinayagan na rin yung health-related qualifications, no? At saka yung sa metals like yung welding, kasi construction-related yan eh. So pinayagan na siya ng IETF. Practically, the IETF gave the Department of Trade and Industry the authority to determine what other courses can be included or can be allowed to be conducted face-to-face. But yung assessment, pinayagan na lahat. Last December, through a joint memorandum circular by DTI Secretary Mon Lopez and TESDA Secretary Sid La Peña. So, allowed na yung lahat ng assessment, even if it's GCQ. But pag MGCQ kasi pwede 50%, di ba?
Yeah. Ma'am Deputy Director General Lina Sarmiento, maraming salamat po. And I'll continue the line of questioning now with Secretary La Peña, ma'am. So, salamat for sharing those information.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so we heard from Deputy Director General Lina Sarmiento of TESDA, and we'll go back to our Secretary La Peña for more questions and insights about TESDA. Now, sir, what is the most popular program now or service na pinaprovide sa TESDA ngayon they're offering, and bakit?
Well, ang pinaka-popular na program natin diyan is meron yung itong computer system servicing, alam mo naman, yan naman ang uso. And then we have the bread and pastry production.
Mm-hmm.
Meron din yung sa contact center services.
Okay.
Yan, at saka may yung cookery, dressmaking. Ito kasi yung ito yung mga makamasa, makamasa na mga kurso. Ito yung tinatawag na yung kurso na kayang-kayang gawin ng mga nasa lower strata of the society.
Okay.
Of course, we have other courses. At ito naman, yung when you go to yung pwedeng trabaho at a higher level, we have itong electrical installation and maintenance. Meron din yung organic agriculture production. You have, of course, I mentioned about agriculture kanina. And then, ang other na popular dito sa Pilipinas at saka sa abroad is itong tinatawag na SMAW or Shielded Metal Arc Welding, yung SMAW 1 at saka SMAW 2. At ito yung mga nagiging popular na mga kurso. Of course, meron pang iba na yung construction-related courses. Kasi ang Pilipino, pag may mga skills na ganyan, mas yung paborito sila ng mga foreign companies. Kasi ang Pilipino talagang natural na masipag. Pag pumunta ang Pilipino sa abroad, talagang hanap niya trabaho. At ang Pilipino ay marunong magsalita ng English. So he can communicate. So ang kailangan lang na maibigay natin sa ating mga kababayan is yung skill. At yung skill na yan trabaho yan ang TESDA.
Sir, katong ang mga, we know for a fact Filipinos are highly trainable and marketable for overseas employment, no? Bakit ito? Why is it so na marketable sila at saka trainable ang mga Filipino workers, sir?
Yes, well, as I've said, by nature, ang Pilipino talagang masipag, Doc Dino eh.
Yeah.
And then, yung Filipino, yung knowledge of the English language is also an asset sa mga Pilipino.
Correct.
But of course, ang by nature, ang Pilipino ay yung marunong mag-adapt sa kanyang environment. Basta pumunta sa ibang bansa yan, talagang mag-adapt yan sa environment niya doon. That's something that it's inherent in a Filipino.
Yes.
Kaya ako I'm proud of being a Filipino. Kasi you can see Filipinos all over the globe, and you will see that they are there. Talagang inaasahan din sila ng mga iba-ibang companies para maging mga employees nila.
Sir Secretary, if you were to advise an average Filipino worker, no, what skills are most in demand now in foreign countries today? What advice would you give them to take up as a profession?
Ano lang yung question ulit, Dr. Dino?
Yung mga Filipino workers natin ba, if you talk to an average Filipino worker, no, anong skills na most in demand in foreign countries na i-advise mo na kuhain nila sa TESDA? Na kunin nila sa TESDA?
Well, ang ina-advise namin madalas diyan are yung mga skills na which are in need, yung demand ng ibang countries.
Yes.
At kasama yan sa aming yung study, yung labor market studies natin.
Yes.
Na minomonitor natin yan yung mga kailangan ng mga trabaho sa iba-ibang bansa. So kaya yung there are times na yung reports would show yung healthcare jobs at yung mga technology o yung mga manual work sa plumbing, carpentry, engineering are umaangat yan sa mga studies na yan. So kung ano yung mga resulta ng mga studies na yan, yun yung aming nire-recommenda, at we provide trainings, we provide scholarship sa mga training na yan. By the way, ang TESDA training is free at mayroon pang allowance siya.
Good to hear.
So kaya nga kung wala kang ginagawa, mag-enroll ka na lang sa TESDA. May allowance ka pa. Natututo ka pa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sir, sa mga OFWs rin, sir, what assistance does TESDA provide, no? Sa mga OFWs na mga na-displaced and were forced to return to the country because of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, sa mga displaced na mga OFWs natin, Dr. Dino, we have courses to upskill or to retool yung ating mga OFWs. So, ang ibig sabihin yan, pag retool is to provide another skill para magkaroon siya na additional skill that you can make use of, or upskill. Ang ibig sabihin itaas yung level ng kanyang kalaman sa isang trabaho, sa isang skill. So those are the things that we do. At by the way, we have yung apps for OFW na if you are an OFW, want to know kung ano yung mga kailangan mong tulong, you just go to our website, yung tesda.gov.ph, and you will see yung aming you can get information all about the assistance that TESDA can give to different sectors. Kasama na dyan ang OFW, which is very special to us.
Okay. Now, sir, Secretary, finally, no, our Mayor, Felipe Antonio Remolyo, is honored to host your visit and is looking forward to a more productive collaboration with TESDA. Pwedeng i-share ninyo yung message niyo to Mayor Remolyo and the people of Dumaguete City as parting words, sir.
Yes, ang sabi ko kanina, with with the deed of usufruct, we can now start with the training and of course the construction of the building. At this is something that will benefit the people of Dumaguete City, yung mga ang Dumagueteños natin, at as well as yung mga nearby municipalities in Negros Oriental. At ako ay nagagalak na nangyayari ito. At ang sabi ko rin kanina that we will be providing scholarship kung ano yung kailangan dito sa Dumaguete at saka sa Negros Oriental. At kung ano man na yung mga iba pang kailangan. Kaya kanina binanggit ko rin yung mga barangay captains, yung role nila. Na sila kasi yung nakakaalam kung ano yung kailangan doon sa kanilang mga barangays. At napakaganda na inimbita rin ni Mayor yung mga barangay captains. Kasi alam na ng mga barangay captains na meron na tayong regional training center dito that can attend to the needs, the training needs ng ating mga kababayan sa mga baryo-baryo. So malaking tulong yun. Kasi kung hindi makarating sa kanila, wala. Kasi hindi nila alam. Pero kay andiyan yung mga barangay captain, yung mga barangay captain na magsasabi sa kanila na may opportunity sila para magkaroon ng trabaho at umangat ang kanilang pamumuhay at magkaroon sila ng komportabling buhay. Na yun ang gusto ng ating presidente sa lahat ng mamayang Pilipino.
Secretary La Peña, maraming salamat for being my guest tonight in Let's Talk with Doc Dino. At saka maraming salamat for answering the invite of Mayor Remulla to be here tonight and for that MOA signing that you just concluded. Thank you very much, sir. And I hope this will not be the last time kayo nandito sa Dumaguete.
Yes, I'll be coming back ulit. Kasi gusto ko makita kung anong develop itong training na ito.
Okay.
Lalo na andiyan yung cooperation ng ating city government. And then it's about serving our people. Maraming salamat din, Doc Dino.
Secretary,
salamat.
Thank you very much po. Now, like us at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and subscribe to our Let's Talk YouTube channel. Please do watch all our episodes for Let's Talk, and that's our episode for tonight. I'm Doc Dino. Be well.